Hey guys, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell to be updated every time I make a new video. Thanks, let's begin. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brian, and I am the horror show host, and I have allergies today, so bear with me. That was a long build-up. So yeah, today I'm going to be ranking the Paranormal Activity franchise, from my least favorite to my favorite. So let's dig right in. Now these are my opinions. I know a lot of people have very different opinions on this franchise. So let's be kind to one another, shall we? There's 7 installments in this franchise now. One that might or might not be connected to the rest. I won't really get into it until I do my after the watch video, which will be either before or after this video, but I'll leave a link to it up here, as well as at the end of this video. Number 7 is Paranormal Activity 4. Now, I don't hate this movie. There are some major issues with it. It feels kind of pointless. It really does. Like, you could have continued this franchise without having the demon lose Hunter, apparently, or something like that. Like, she calls this kid Hunter, who's been in a family for a few years now. And, or at least at most a few years. And she's all of a sudden like, hey, your real name is Hunter. And, well, how'd she lose him? Why did she do it? Did she do it on purpose? If so, why? And the whole movie is basically just her trying to get him back and trying to make him understand who he really is and what significance he has. So it's really weird. And it feels like there was nothing added to the franchise with this movie. Still, it's got some enjoyable characters and funny lines. It's not like a comedy, but none of these are. But it feels like the humor was really trying to branch out more with the characters' dialogue than in the first 3 movies. Number 6 is Paranormal Activity 5, The Marked Ones. This also feels kind of pointless, because it does introduce certain things that will be in the next installment that are very interesting. Things that I am either a fan or disapproving of. Because it really jumps the shark in the end, and I don't know. I don't hate the movie. It's got some good scares. It's also actually kind of a superhero origin story without it actually being a superhero origin story. It's very odd. It's like the Mexican and his friend, the demon Toby. I don't know. Number 5 is Paranormal Activity Next of Kin. This is the 7th installment, and it's okay. Very well shot. There are scenes where you're like, why are you bringing this 40 to 60 grand camera outside with you to check the generator and stuff like that? But the movie does kind of have this whole new story to tell, but I can see how they can connect it with the other movies. And if they do, it'll be pretty stupid. But the ending of the movie is probably the best. It's got a great kill, some disturbing imagery, and yeah. And there are things that are set up with the camera that are paid off later, like the slow-mo aspect, which I actually really thought was cool, but if you're looking at it logically, who in their right mind would find this footage and go, that kill, oh my god, that's so horrible, that person really died. Let's show it in slow-mo, because that setting was on the camera. I don't think the camera operator was hitting the slow-mo button by accident right when he looked around to see his friend die, but at the same time, it looks cool. Number 4 is a pretty popular one in the franchise, and I feel it is kind of a little bit pointless. It only sets up things that happened in the first movie and why they are that way, and it shows the start of some characters becoming more important to the overall story. So that is Paranormal Activity 2. Now, the second one, it's basically the first one with a sister this time. And it's set up in a way where it reveals why the stuff in the first one happened. And what certain characters mean to the demon, Toby. And I don't... Other than that, and one other character that comes back in the 5th one for a cameo, what's the point? Besides showing Nika's interest in cameras. Number 3, you're probably wondering why this one hasn't been mentioned yet. And that's simple, because it's number 3. That is Paranormal Activity: The Ghost Dimension. You're gonna hate me for that, but a lot of people were saying it loses the meaning of Paranormal Activity. Like, it's supposed to be this creepy, eerie build-up movie with nothing being seen, and tension and atmosphere really building up with ambient noise and everything. And this one kind of throws that all out the window and says, here's the demon, look at him. But here's another thing. I've already seen that happen with all the ambient build-up, and with all the ambient noise, tension, build-up, atmosphere in the first 3 movies. So why do I need to see it constantly? You want to go back and watch those first 2 or 3 movies and be like, that was really creepy. And if you kept on seeing the same thing over and over and over again, it'd be like, it's not working anymore. So they did something really bold, really crazy, really out there, and had this kind of liquid mass of black smoke or whatever, mainly portraying the demon, but you do get to see his face. You do get to see some crazy stuff. I like the characters. The thing involving the little girl isn't pointless because the demon, spoilers, needed a certain amount of sacrifices to be reborn. And this one delves into that, as well as a camera that is allowed to see the ghost, which is a cool idea because it's like you only can see it through one camera. The rest of the cameras are seeing the basic paranormal stuff. But this camera, you can see shit. And the demon is not messing around in this one. Not at all. So number 3 is part 6. My brother, my mom, and I really enjoyed that one. Number 2 is Paranormal Activity 3. This is where it started to get a little bit crazy. It was like, oh, so we got this slow build-up tension atmosphere, but we want to show just a little bit of creepy stuff that you can actually see. So they threw in a witch's coven. And this is actually a prequel to the first movie and all the events that happen after, so I thought that was really cool. It takes place in 1988. If the camera is like HD quality, it's like, what the hell? And no one looks like they're from 1988, I'm sorry. There are some really good scares. I'd have to say my favorite scare that really got me out of all the Paranormal Activities was actually in part 6. Surprisingly. Well, there's actually one in part 1 I'll get to in a bit. But in part 6, there's a scene where he's looking at the bed, the camera operator, the father, and he turns to go look at his brother. I was fully expecting him to be, the demon to be behind the brother, but you meet halfway there and there's the demon, and I'm like, ah! I literally went, that was my reaction. Part 3 doesn't really have that, but I remember seeing it for the first time when you actually get to see the witch's coven. That scene where he flicks on the light and there they are, got me. It's a really good movie. Really cool. One of the scarier ones. It's very interesting in terms of how this demon is manipulating this family and the little girl that is entrapped in his scheme without even knowing it. So really cool stuff. And my favorite, and probably everyone else's favorite, is the first Paranormal Activity. Now, the one scene, like I mentioned before, there are certain scenes that got me pretty much in each movie. There is one scene in this where they're just sitting there and quiet, and then I think it's like the girlfriend is like, I heard something. Then all of a sudden you hear, and that scene just gets me. I didn't really even jump. It was just the fact that it happened, and it happened so early in the movie. And then things get worse and worse and worse from there. So this movie really pushed the envelope for things that you can't see, and it's handled very well in that regard. Especially because there's a scene where they put powder down and you can see the hooves or footsteps in the powder. So it's, or flour or whatever it was, but that is really cool. So yeah, my ranking for the Paranormal Activity franchise. A little out there, but it's my thoughts on the franchise after watching them. I actually saw the first 5 years ago, and then I saw part 6 recently, and if it left that much of an impression on me right away, it's something. So my ranking went, number 7 was 4, number 6 was 5, number 5 was 7, number 4 was 2, number 3 was 6, number 2 was 3, and number 1, the original, number 1, Paranormal Activity. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are in the comment section below, what you thought of this franchise, and how you would rank them. Probably a lot different than mine, but if not, that's really cool. We have the same opinion, but if not, I respect yours. It's your opinion, you gotta have yours. Thank you all for watching, and I am Brian Gatto, the horror show host. Make sure to like, comment on, as well as share this video. Like my Facebook fan page and support me on Patreon, or even $1 a month will help keep this channel going on strong, and I greatly appreciate it. Plus, you get access to body counts and other music videos that you cannot get on YouTube because of copyright and data restriction monetary support. But if you want to support the channel through PayPal, it's horrorshow37@gmail.com. I'd greatly appreciate that too, but if you don't want to support me with any money, just hit that notification bell to be notified every time I make a new video, and as always, subscribe.